And now, from Glasgow.
So, hello, welcome to, spoiler alert, triple issue 57, 58, 59. So I've got in a bit of a muddle because obviously with the part works being delayed and then they're catching up, and I've ended up with so many issues. So I'm going to be doing a slight bit of catch up. Also taking into account I've not done the first part of the premium base, which I said I would do once I finished this finger off. Well, of course, the next pack's arrived with the new parts of the fingers, and I've got another piece of the premium base. And I think the premium base is a little bit too much to do a double episode. So this is a triple episode. All three of these issues are pretty much identical, except the parts are a little bit of a different shape. So we'll go through 57 properly, and then we'll just kind of skim over 58. You'll kind of get what I mean. So, spoiler alert, next week we're taking a break from the actual build. We're going to be putting the first part of the premium base together. Then we'll do a double episode because issue 60 is one of those issues. We've had them quite a few. You receive a part but you don't do anything with it. And then you receive the next issue. You get that part from the previous issue and you put the two together. That's why I'm going to do a double issue. So this is issue 57, the middle finger part 9, and the parts that we receive, and again because we've done fingers, this is all the same. That's metal, it's called A31, and then another part that we get is D10. I think this is plastic, and that is essentially a screw cover. And then we get, now this is quite interesting because I've been doing some other builds as well. We receive screws 2 times 1 plus 2. Normally we get one spare screw. They seem to be giving us sometimes 2, sometimes 3, but we only need the one. And yet there's another part work I'm doing by the same company, the ET. You don't get any screws at all. Now, because we get 2 screws, we get 3 screws, but we only need 1. This is going to happen with the next 3 stages. So I'm going to completely ignore the screws for the next issues. I'm going to use those. So I'm just going to get an invasion. Right, so very, very simple issue today. You have this, sorry, bear with me one sec. So my apologies, I was just about to get, now I'm getting invaded again by a big handsome cat. Okay, so what's going to happen, you have this cover and you have a little peg there. Mister, right, and that's going to go on to there. Now that is actually quite difficult to put on. I think we might have to, it's because I've got it in the wrong way round. Right, so it is still a little bit stiff. So that's going on there like that. I think we're going to have to manage with a cat. So once we've got that on in place, so this line bit at the front, that is actually at the front. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop a screw into there like so. And we're just going to screw that in. Remember, this is going into plastic. So you know the score with plastic. Let the screw tell you when it's in. Don't over tighten, you risk damaging the plastic. Okay, so I'm going quite slowly on this one. I'm just trying to find that stop point. Right, it's still a bit wobbly, so I want to just keep going. Yeah, I can feel that pulling in now. There we go. Lovely, no movement. And then we're going to get this screw cover, which is shaped. So it'll only go in, well, it'll go in any way you want, but it'll only go in properly one way. Right, and I do apologise, I've got a cat that's decided that he's going to join us. Right. I don't like that. It went in too easily, but it's not coming out. But that is the end of that issue. So that's that done. So on to stage 58, sorry, which is the middle finger part 10. And we've got, again, part A32 metal. We've got what is essentially a screw cover, but this time it's called D11. And we've got 3 screws, which we're going to completely ignore because we're going to use the 2 screws from the previous issues. Always keep the spare screws, guys. So, exactly the same as the previous issue. Get your little bit from the bar. That goes on the front. Make sure that peg goes into that hole there. Lovely. Screw goes into there. And we screw that up. And the screw's going to tell us when it's in enough. So I'm purposely stopping early. Actually, there's a little bit of movement there. So I just want to keep going. Lovely. Right, that's now stiffened up. And there's no movement on that plate. So I'm happy with that. Oh, don't know why I'm picking a screw up. So we'll get the, and you'll see some detail on there. Which as soon as you see the screw cover, you'll see which way round that's going to go. So I'm going to push that into there. And I think that might be the wrong way round. There we go. Now that's a lot better. That's gone in quite stiff. So that's that issue complete. So on to stage 59, which is the middle finger part 11. And you'll never guess what parts we're getting. So we've got part A33, which is metal. We have part D12, which is a little plastic screw cover. And we've got some screws, which again we're going to ignore because I'm using the spares. If you don't have the spares, you don't have to use them. And again, there's a peg there. That's going to go in there. Shadow's just got bored and he's walked off. Bless him. Why is it that when he comes onto my desk while I'm working, I'm like, oh, Shadow, that's so inconvenient. And then he plonks himself down. And then as soon as he walks off, I'm like, yes, I've got more space. And then I feel guilty for thinking that. Why would that be? Right, there we go. No movement on there, so we're going to pop this screw cover in. Is that the right way round? Ah, there we go. I think that might be, yeah. Pop it in, have a look at it. That cover isn't so good. I don't like that, actually. I wonder if that's the wrong way round. So we'll just gently prise that out. Don't really yank it, especially if you're doing what I'm doing and using a really thin blade, because you're likely to break the blade. But you don't want to damage any of the pieces. Okay. I did have a pair of tweezers. I'm not happy with it, you see. So I'm wondering whether I've put that in the wrong way. Okay, it was going to be a really quick build, wasn't it? And then this happens. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced that's in the right way around. It just looks ever so slightly out, but it does seem to want to go in any way round. I don't know if there's an alternative they could have done. You know, sometimes we sit here and we think, oh, it would have been better perhaps if they'd done whatever. But in this particular case, it doesn't seem perfect, but I can't think of a better solution. So, do you know what? That's not an awful lot better. It's a little bit gappy, but you've seen the 2 alternatives. Never mind, I'll go with that. but on the whole, that's a really nice piece. So now, I did say before that the finger looked a little bit skinny, but I said I'll trust the process because we've still got these armor plates to go on, and actually that has improved it. Let me take a cut. I'm going to do a comparison. So, looking at my own hands, my index finger is a little bit shorter than my middle finger. My middle finger is my biggest finger. This is the index finger from the model, and this is the middle finger, and I would say they're the same. Do they look the same to you guys? I thought maybe one would be slightly longer. I don't know. I mean, is my hand abnormal? I don't know. I mean, just going on my own, there isn't a lot of difference. I mean, if you just moving my fingers across, yeah, there's not a lot of difference, is there? Actually, my middle finger starts further up. If you look where my knuckles are, like there's the knuckle of my index finger, and it starts further up. So if you bring them onto an even level, yeah, there's not actually much difference. But I know from wearing rings my middle finger is a bit bigger. So yeah, do you know what? I'll give it a pass on that. So guys, that is the middle finger complete. Now, coming in the next issue is, I can't tell you because I can't find it. Here we are, issue 60. We are going to start work on the inner forearm, but you're not going to see that for 2 weeks because next week I'm doing the premium base. The week after, as I say, will be the inner forearm. Then we'll do the premium base part 2. Then the next issue will be a new pack, which I'm not going to receive for a month from the date of filming this. I believe I'm going to get a piece of premium base every pack. Now, if you're not a premium subscriber, I do apologise for having things that you aren't building. Yeah, I'll talk about some issues I've got with it when we start it next week. Right, so that's it for me for this week. You guys take care, have a wonderful week, and I hope to catch you next week when we do the premium base. Take care, bye bye.